Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on the first week on the beautiful month of March in 2020. My name is Mary, and I'll be your commentator for today. Joining me is the wonderful Markot. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. It's a bit late here, but always time for some good Echoes racing.
Well, that is right, my friend. We've got a great race today. We've got our odd settings today against Cestrion and Bellator. Now, as far as the settings go for this, a little bit different from our even settings. We have random locations, our translator gates are randomized colors with possible unlocked. All elevators are two-way, and final bosses are removed. So with that being said, we've got a lot of opportunity today with possibly an interesting route. Now, with that being said, it looks like both runners are just getting ready. They're making their final preparations. We have the green light from race time, so we're about to get into this. That being said, Mark, what do you hope to see for this race?
Well, I'm hoping to see something like a bit weird, like a required gravity that's in a tricky spot or something.
Well, that could be true. If gravity's in a weird spot, that's going to put a lot of lower Torvis in a funky situation. They'll have to perform air underwater or find different methods to move around. Because water physics and echoes are not fun. Alright. Oh, we have Emerald Translator, Morph Ball Bombs, and our Screw Attack starting. Game's giving us Screw Attack on our bombs, and it's throwing us into Aegon. That's an interesting starting location.
Right next to the elevator, okay.
Now, where's our elevator lead to? Temple Transport Amber. Alright, not bad, so we got straight to Great Temple. Oh, nope, I'm incorrect. That leads to Temple Grounds.
Temple Grounds, yeah.
Yep, I got them backwards.
Alright. Slightly faster climb here with bombs.
It allows them to skip the path going around from the far right side and climbing it normally with missiles.
Right, we got this translator.
Yep, with the map station. Map stations are always important when it comes to random elevators, as the map station will guarantee you that you're able to see the location and destination for each elevator. We got Torvis entrance and Temple Transport bots. We have two ways to Temple Grounds. And we already have pilots. We got super missiles hiding over in a bomb site. That's great. That'll let us get biostorage production. Now, with super missiles being this early, if they do have to go to Torvis, that opens up the Torvis energy controller and allows us vanilla access into lower Torvis. Oh, and we've already got our space jump boots hiding behind the Luminath near portal terminal. And it looks like a temple key hiding up on the spider ball track in Mining Plaza A.
Yeah, looks like. Red key.
And with Cestrion doing the using the standable space jump trick to get that key a little bit early.
Ooh, Aegon.
Yeah, we can find our worm hint. We have a violet translator hiding sand cache. It looks like both runners are heading towards Portal Terminal. Might be trying to head into Dark Aegon.
Yeah, that makes sense with what they've got, I think.
They have the space jumps, they have Screw Attack just to maneuver the Dark World easier. As well as Screw Attack, damage taken is lessened, so especially with the Various suit.
Yeah, one E-Tank Dark World, if you want to go fast, is always tricky, but these runners are quite capable of moving efficiently even with limited health.
That's correct, my friend. Both are highly skilled in echoes. Both. That being said, we're sure to see a lot of wonderful tricks today, and possibly some route divergence as we get into the later hour.
Yeah, a lot will depend on like what kind of stuff the seat plate has where.
Let's see, is Bellator going to peek Crossroads? He is. Oh, couldn't get a good look at it.
That's looking at it on the restream, that kind of looked like light beam, or maybe a light ammo.
I prefer it be light ammo. Not a big fan of trying to get up to Crossroads.
Maybe if boost balls early, you can get there pretty quickly.
Oh, that's fair, but if boost ball's a while out, then they resort to manipulating one of those little inglets to use as a standable.
Well, at least Logic won't be expecting that kind of stuff, so that would be like safe grace. The Belt are not going for a serious Dark World exploration, just going for this first. Oh, missiles.
Hey, missiles are always helpful. And it's our launcher. It's even better.
It kind of had to be. We're kind of running out of checks without missiles here.
Well, that's fair, but one can always have hope. The seat could throw him a little bit of a curveball right at the start. Missiles in hand, Bellator's heading back to Dark Aegon. Sastron just now picking up his launcher. Now with space jump, missiles, and bombs already in tow, it's possible Sestron could be trying to go for labs, but there's no dark beam, so once he reaches Dark Samus, he'll have to take the loop all the way back.
Bellator cutting it close there. If that drop for 8 had been the wrong 20%, that could have been really bad.
We don't want to see a death this early. It'd put him 6 minutes is a big jump in the race.
Yeah, especially when things have been pretty linear so far. Though we are getting the Divergence now, with Bomb Guardian play for Cestrion and the Dark World Exploration for Bellator.
It looks like Bellator's heading for Trial Tunnel. He's going to get a free item there.
Yeah, let's see what the Broom Closet's got this time.
You know, just once, I'd love it to have an actual broom. But we know that's not going to happen. Oh, more energy.
Yeah, that's worth the reload. Especially this, as your first tank, that's worth the reload.
Yeah, it's certainly. It's not out of the way, and it's right along a logical path. And Cestrion defeating our lovely Bomb Guardian. Let's see what he's hiding for us today. Oh, would you look at that? There's our Dark Visor.
Ooh. Interesting. That might imply some things, but it might also just be something that shows up, is used for one thing a ways further, and then just becomes irrelevant. But
That's fair. It could be leading us down a. It could be trying to guide us to a path we don't necessarily want to be on right now.
oh dear, more red keys. It's not a Raygun one.
Oh no. 2 keys already. That's like I said. It could be leading us to a joke item on worms. But
Could also have like boost ball or something on Worm.
That's true. It could have something very important for us. Bellator decided to kill Jump Guardian in the preferred manner, having his hitbox loaded in just in front of the statue. We're able to just shoot at him without him giving us any harm. Then we can trigger the fight, one little charge beam later, and, well, there goes the Jump Guardian.
See what's there. More E.
Let's see, let's take a peek at Junction Site, see if Spider Track's having anything good for us. Oh,
Ooh, another key.
how much you want to bet that's our last Aegon key?
I'm gonna bet that's a quad key.
Well, that's fair, but I'd really like it to be our Aegon key. Have him get Spider Ball this early.
Yeah, having supers but no missile expansions is kinda finicky.
And you gotta rely heavily on the drops. Thankfully, Echo's drop rates are much better compared to Prime's.
Oh, that's nice to have.
A Dark Suit on Warrior's Walk. Huh. Yeah, here's the problem. You gotta get a missile drop. And look at that. So 2 energy tanks with a Dark Suit, with Cestrion moving through Pirate Labs. Now Bellator doesn't have his
main
dark
PvEs.
But yeah, Bellator's getting a lot of powerful upgrades already. That's always a good start. And like look at what I told you. There's the Spider Ball. I'm telling you, that's our last Aegon key. If it's a quad key, I'll buy you dinner tonight.
We both know that means it's not going to be the Chica key, but
yeah. If it's a Chica key, then we're
we already got Dark Visor, so.
Well, we don't necessarily need Chica, but unless he's hiding something pretty important. And did you get? Bellator doesn't have Dark Visor, so he's not able to get the in-cache up top in Battlegrounds. So if that in-cache has something important, then...
Oh, is that the other suit?
That is the other suit. Cestrion's about to get his Dark Suit. So now we know where both suits are. Missile-related upgrade for that in-cache.
So that could be Seekers.
It could be, but it could also just be an expansion.
Yeah, the odds are that it's an expansion, but...
Yeah, with its Seekers, it would allow us to enter, take the exit out of Mineshaft, and reach the elevator for Boost Ball. Excuse me.
Yeah, this fight in Battleground is a hassle.
Yeah, without Light Beam or Annihilator to trigger the Inks to go towards their own demise, this is just a very arduous fight, drawn out.
At least the one shot at a time super gives you some extra firepower. Just Power Beam only, this would be like really bad.
I agree, but on contrary, he's only got 5 missiles. So when he uses that super missile, he's stuck waiting to kill an Ing just to get another drop of refill.
It's still better than not having them.
Oh, that's fair, I agree. Cestrion coming back into Dark Aegon. We got Bellator.
Having main PBs can speed up certain things so much.
Yeah, that's correct. With power bombs, and we know where Spider Ball is at command center. That puts Dark Aegon Key 1 into logic. Once Bellator gets a Spider Ball, and Cestrion gets his PBs.
We don't even need the PBs for it, right? We could just crawl up and.
With the if you trigger the Wasp Hive and get the Standable, or a triple bomb, or a bomb space jump.
The key. Right, that key.
Yeah, the key in Mining Station A. You need a power bombs to destroy the Denzium or Bendesium for the orb cannon.
Yeah, I was thinking of what Station X is, the dark one there.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, you
were
were right. That is Light Beam. Light Beam on Crossroads.
Trying to go for some BSJ and gets it. Pretty interesting trick that with how you use camera manipulation to get the instant on morph. Not something you can use everywhere, but it's applicable in a lot of places.
For example, right here in Crossroads, who's able to get the instant unmorph and jump right up to the item. And Bellator's heading over for Bomb Guardian at this moment. The Cestrion opening Warrior's Walk and heading for Trial Tunnel.
But yeah, this should be Bomb Guardian getting deleted unless the power bomb is misplaced.
Good note to point out, since they start with screw attack and Sastrian's got his light beam, that'll let him get into check the Sand Canyon item.
True, yeah.
We just gotta wait for Sastrian to head over to Battleground to pick up his power bombs. And Bellator acquiring his Dark Visor, heading over for the energy controller.
And they're mostly just covering each other's tracks at this point.
And we're just we're replaying. You say one thing the first 5 minutes, and the next 5 minutes, well, we gotta say it again.
Yeah, this should be a significantly faster way to deal with the Jump Guardian as well. Having light beam.
Yep, that's right. As we have, I don't remember the exact number. I believe it's 20 uncharged shots. As for some reason, charged light beam does not register extra damage on Jump Guardian.
Well, down it goes.
There's energy tank number 2. Bellator heading over to Open Pirate Labs. And Sestrian's going to pick up the key while he's here. That gives him all 3.
Yeah, but do you dare head over there? There's plenty of other places to explore still, I think, so...
Yeah, heading for Worms could have something vital, but it's a lengthy fight. He doesn't have boost ball to do Worm skip, but he does have light beam, which makes it faster. I'm not sure if heading for Worms at this moment would be the right play. Granted,
yeah, I'm thinking labs still.
Yeah, granted, it would get the Worm check out of the way. But oh, look at that. Sestron's got all of his suits now. Maneuvering the Dark World is no problem.
Yeah, this fight should be a lot easier for Sestrian.
Yeah, they can just lure the Ings over to their own burning. That's not a nice way to go out though, just being completely burned by pure light.
At least for the ones like heading in there, it's pretty instant.
Oh, that's fair, and you're not suffering too long. And Bellator picking up his light suit as well. But both runners have complete Dark World invulnerability when it comes to the atmosphere. And what does Incash have in Battlegrounds? Looks to be a missile expansion.
Yeah, we'll stay. You still take that if that's your 10. If that's finally your 10 missiles, so you get the proper drop system.
And with that being said, Sestron has a light beam, so he's able to head further into Dark Labs. Bellator, on the other hand, is not able to do much without his beam, and when it comes to the Dark Lab.
Yeah. Well, logically, this light beam is still out of logic, so keep that in mind.
That's fair. He did use the bomb jump with the standable on the Inglet.
What's that? Oh dear.
Oh, that Annihilator? That is Annihilator.
Well, that's guaranteed way out of here at least. That doesn't involve a lot of walking.
Now you can access dark and light portals now, since Annihilator opens portals with both color. And since he has Annihilator Screw Attack, that lets him check the in-cache hiding by. Was it in-cache 2 or in-cache 1? I believe in-cache 4.
Oh dear.
He's going for worms. Looks like Bellator's going to use the standable trick with the Inglet as well, trying to get his light beam.
Kind of a pain, but
Yeah, but once you land it, you know, it's done. You don't have to do it again.
unless you fall off doing the BSJ.
Well, let's not think negatively now.
Yeah, that's nicely gotten.
Yeah, congratulations. Bellator's got his light beam now. Sastron's fighting worms. We're only 20 minutes in, and already a very interesting start.
Yeah, supers and light beam for this fight, so that's pretty nice.
And especially with that extra missile expansion you got from the in-cache, that's...
Gonna try and get worm shape without boost, which is tight but can be done as far as I know. But didn't hit him super, so...
Yeah, it's worth an attempt, you know, gotta give him credit where it's due.
Doesn't really have a big opportunity cost, and if you do get it, it's quite nice, so why not?
Yeah, it's always worth the attempt. Bellator's grabbing the in-cache that he had in Battleground. And with light beam, Bellator's about to pick up his Annihilator beam. This begs the question though, since they have bombs and their missiles, along with power bombs, this opens up a ton of checks over in Temple Grounds.
Yeah, there is a bit of question about translator gates there, but...
That's fair, we don't know which, with this being random gates, it could be unlocked or it could be...
Echo! Ooh.
So Cestron's looking pretty loaded over there.
Oh, was there something in Mining Plaza?
Say again.
Was there something in Mining Plaza?
Mining
Cestron's
Plaza.
going for the energy.
No, we didn't see any of them peek it. Not that I could see, at least. But since the elevator leads to Temple Grounds, it already having Echo, it wouldn't hurt to get the check anyway. Bellator using out of bounds in the Aether box to check what light beam storage has. He can get out since he has light beam, but he can't get in as the door is dark beam locked from the other side. That's where the
Just a missile, but good to not isolate that check though.
Oh yeah, if it has something important, you go through all of Dark Aegon, you go through Aegon. It's out of the way to come back for it.
Yeah, I like checking that before doing worm.
Cestron's heading over for... I would assume he's heading to the elevator and possibly a warp to start.
Oh no, we've got the... we can't get to this dark beam.
No, because it's dark beam off for in-cache 4, he's not able to get the item.
Warp to start?
That's what I'm thinking. Try to do some Temple Ground Storm. See what Great Temple has, if we find the elevator.
Well, might as well do Mining Plaza as well in that case, because you're starting right next to it.
I agree, yeah, it's only one room away. And if it has something important, that check's already done. It looks like Bellator's doing Dark Labs in reverse, heading for an out of bounds. My gamble is he's heading for that Annihilator check for the small storage cavern. I know I'm getting these room names backwards. It's been a while since I've had a look at them.
I'm really bad with the room names as well, so.
Well, this doesn't make it good. This doesn't help. But it's alright. Yeah, it's all about having fun.
Classic. I'm generally reasonably decent with like the logic in this game, but attaching the room names to the logic, not always perfect. But it's simply.
You don't need perfection. It all takes time. Even I haven't memorized all of this nonsense. There's just so many rooms, and a lot of them have similar sounding names. And plus, you have the numbers and the letters. It's in cache 1, in cache 2, 3, 4. Thinking, oh, come on.
At least we don't have quite as many relevant ruin rooms here.
Oh, that's fair. Like you said, it's
the energy.
Turn the energy that activates the echo locks in Mining Plaza.
I guess it was something relevant there then.
If he saw something that we didn't, then hey, more power to him.
And we did get all the stuff pretty quickly for it.
That's fair. And we have Bellator still moving out of bounds.
Interesting choice to not like take a little detour here and check what the two items through the light beam doors are.
Yeah, Sand Canyon and the transit tunnel.
Well, technically we still don't have light beam. Logically.
That's true. So those items probably wouldn't be worth it at the moment. Yeah. But then again, it could have something powerful. And Bellator's trying to clip back inbound so we can open up the room.
I'm trying to get that ceiling warp.
Having a little struggle, but let's say you get the room transition. Oh, he saw it. That's Dark Beam. Dark Beam on Mining Plaza, which.
Oh.
Now it is just a missile expansion for all of Bellator's work. But that check is out of the way. And it's
alright, Cestrin hadn't done the map check.
He's about to find out where his elevators lead. We have one to Torvus entrance, which requires boost ball and seekers to open. Power bombs leads to Temple Transport Violet. I believe that would be a good place to head out, as Violet is... Where does Violet lead again?
Oh yeah, that's one of those where like, which one's which again?
I got Violet.
Amber is the one with like the ledge, right?
Yeah, I believe Amber leads out to Torvus through Path of Eyes. So I believe Violet is the vanilla Aegon entrance. But with that being said, there's an item waiting for him right outside the elevator. And so we have Cestron going over for Sand Cache and Transit.
Oh, oops.
A little bit of a foul, but that's okay. And Bellator's heading over for Dark Samus 1. I wonder how fast this fight will take.
Well, it depends on the PB placement.
Look at that Violet Translator. I got that fight at what, 5 seconds, maybe, if that.
What's in this room? That's a big question. Just missiles.
Missile expansion.
Not as bad as it could have been for not having Dark Beam then, yeah.
Well, thankfully he's not soft locked behind the crystals as screw attack activates crystals.
Cannonball.
Huh. Well, now we have a mock boost ball. That's always helpful.
Never accounted for in logic, but pretty useful. And we're past the point where we really need to do orb cannons, so...
Yeah, I can't think of any orb cannon that would really be mandatory at this point.
At least not with the skill level of these runners.
Oh no, they can break this game in half. Bellator heading for a bomb space jump, trying to get sand processing items early without boost
Ooh,
ball.
STK.
Oh, really? Interesting. STK on that's Temple Transport Access B, I believe. It's either B or A. And what do we have there? We have our Cobalt Translator and sand processing.
We're once again getting some pretty interesting divergence. Though so far I prefer the loadout that Sestrion's got, the knowledge they've got.
And Sestrion has more open to him with all beams. It's got a mock boost ball with cannonball, echo, and dark visor. Bellator is still in a great position though, clearing out a lot of Aegon. And it seems I was incorrect about where that elevator led. That led straight to Great Temple, not the Temple ground side.
Well, rip DS1 again.
Having power bombs for DS1 is so fascinating.
Yeah, you still need to place it correctly, so there is a chance to mess it up. But if you move the right way, it makes things so trivial, so nice. It's kind of a pain in the ass fight for how early game it is otherwise.
Just with having your standard power beam and some missiles, it's a drawn out fight, especially if she decides to fire a ton of super missiles at you and never come down. Which has happened way too many times than I like to admit. But the good thing with DS1, from what I find, just morph, head straight to the left side of the reactor in the center. Have her swipe at you and then immediately place the power bomb. That power bomb will go off and her swipe animation is so drawn out, it pretty much just annihilates her.
Yeah, that's just like the usual pattern, but if that doesn't work out, then it's annoying.
Oh, life support system in Dark Oasis. Well, we know it's not a suit, they already have both of them.
Yeah, probably not that desperate for Eve.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dark Oasis at all. It requires Power Bomb Guardian to be defeated. Having to go into Dark Torvus, trying to get to Under Temple, defeat the Power Bomb Guardian, then come all the way back to the far side of Aegon just for one check.
Yeah, it's one of those like weirdly convoluted logic chains that Echoes has in a few places.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say.
Well, they're once again covering the ground the other just covered. So that should even things out a bit again, although I think the big question is, does Belter know about Mining Plaza? It doesn't seem like it.
No, not at this moment. He only has one Aegon key. Unless he did peek the item, but he's not sure where the keys are.
I think Belter knows where one of the other keys is, but just hasn't gotten past there again. Right, this room.
That opens up Sand Cache. Sand Cache. Oh, that's not Sand Cache. I'm thinking of a different room. That was that Dark Beam storage cavern over in Labs.
the Dark World for Sestrian.
Dark World always has something useful. Now that he's got Dark Beam, he's able to head for Incash 4. See if that has anything useful.
Yeah, at this point, I think it makes sense to like not leave anything isolated in Dark Aegon.
I agree. It's especially with what Sestrion has. He already has both. He has all 3 beams, all 3 visors. He's in a very prime position.
Kind of a shame that the one translator they don't have is the one that would give them a bunch of hints in this area. So there might be a revisit here if they get stuck, but
these two getting stuck. Oh no, I can't foresee that happening now.
Well, more of a logical stuckness.
Well, logical, I can see why, but I mean, they'll just probably pull some out of bounds shenanigans.
I'll sometimes just heading to Aegon and grabbing all those hints is a better investment of time than trying some kind of risky out of bounds.
I completely agree. You know, the hint could give you something important, yeah. Give you your Chica, give you your quad, yeah, your UMOS 2 return energy hint.
Or just one of those random important items, one of the extra hints.
Looks like Bellator's going to head over for the Alpha Splinter fight in Great Temple. Sestrion moving towards Incash 4. Yep, everyone say hi to Albert. Albert being the name we gave the Dark Alpha Splinter. I believe that was Callum Chris who named him. And Albert only has missile expansion. While Incash 4 has Seeker Launcher. Ooh.
This means that even more like almost full clearable Aegon at this point.
I can't. The only thing I can't really get at the moment would be Dark Oasis, as that requires PB Guardian, as stated earlier.
Yeah, and we know that that's just a life support system we don't need.
Nope. Bellator getting a hint for Annihilator Beam. Well,
thanks, game.
Yeah, little downside of that hint, he already has it. Now with Seekers in play, I could go for Mineshaft, where Vanilla Darkburst is. Get those 3 items. You could, with Cannonball in play, you could go for the Torvus entrance elevator.
I'd do both actually. Just get that corner out of the way. Just be done with Aegon.
Alright, that way you don't ever have to come back to it.
It's 3 checks close together. And still pretty decently close to that elevator as well.
Yeah, Mineshaft isn't too bad. It's just a little Morph Ball bomb puzzle. The Dark Burst item is not that nice sometimes.
Now, well, these players are quite good at BSJs from what we've seen, so that shouldn't be too much of a hassle.
I completely agree. We have Bellator heading into Temple Grounds for the first time. With Bomb Guardian defeated, this opens up Hive Chamber A, Hive Chamber B. It's got the missile lock. Our run is now officially validated by grabbing our transfer module.
Well, time for a rather prominent room in the recent tournament.
Yeah, this room has given our runners a little bit of a hassle. Always having a vital upgrade. Oh, I remember the last suit I played. This room had my vanilla light suit on it. Problem with that, I couldn't find dark suit for that all though. So doing a damage run to get dark suit.
Oh yeah, we've seen that a couple times in the tournament.
Yeah. Well, looks like Bellator's gonna go check Dark Missile Trooper and the Bomb Gate in Hive Chamber A and B. See what the translator gates are for him. Sestrion's still moving around in Dark Aegon.
Yeah, Sestrion has almost a full kit now, so...
What do we have on Accursed Lake is a beam-related upgrade.
So that's one of the non-critical beam combos, I think, or ammo.
That'd be correct. It's either ammunition, or dark burst, sunburst, or our sonic boom. Now I will say sonic boom, not sonic boom. What am I thinking of?
Strike entrance and Sky Temple key.
And it's power bomb him. Alright, so we got Sky Temple key. You said that elevator was sync entrance. And just screw attack right over the gate. Yeah, who needs to open gates anymore? And we have a violet translator. We're in temple. Where is Cestron heading?
The one translator that
The
Belter
one
doesn't
that
have.
he doesn't have. He doesn't look happy about that. Cestron entering mine shaft. He sees either. That's probably his boost ball. Yeah.
Might as well pick it up in case you lose cannonball. Makes it significantly less bad to sacrifice cannonball for somewhere, if needed.
Yeah, that's fair. As entering any sort of kinetic cannon takes away cannonball. Although if Chica is required, then cannonball would be great to have.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that.
No, we haven't found the hint for it yet. We're picking up a cheeseburger. And Cestron, some more light ammo.
Looks like just a missile up there.
Well, at least you don't have to go get it. That's a finicky pickup. And I'm having a mind loss today for some reason. And if I was Bellator, what I would try to full clear Temple Ground to start making my way over to Compound, as he has.
Interesting point here, by the way, about boost. Like, if boost is there, you needed to like defeat. Yeah, that's pretty doable. Just defeat the worm without light beam. That allows you to get there.
It looks like Bellator's going to be heading out of bounds during Hype Chamber. I believe this is Hype Chamber B.
Yeah, I assume this is to hit the trigger and start the DMT fight.
I would agree. We don't have logical access into DMT's chamber yet, as it's locked by a translator gate, which we don't have access to, and we're not able to get into landing site. Looks like Cestrion might be done in Aegon for a little bit. He looks like a warp to start.
At the very least, a save.
Oh, no, he's doing a
safety saving can be pretty practical, because this could also be a decent pivot save depending on which elevator to take.
Now, where Cestrion is, I would strongly go for Torvus entrance. This looks where he's heading.
Yeah. If you're passing through the room anyway, might as well save.
Oh yeah, you never know when a crash is going to happen. Thankfully, Randomizer has updated a lot lately. It's fixed a ton of crashes, but there's always that 1 in a million chance that it does happen, and your progress is. Your last save was what, 45 minutes ago?
Yeah, it's a shame when that happens.
Now, we don't have gravity boost, so we're not able to move through water that easily. But we are able to get air underwater and do some screw attacking to get the items.
If needed, yeah.
Didn't look like anything necessary on Torvus Lagoon, though. The problem is Bellator is still missing his dark beam. We don't have any logical access.
Thanks, game. Spider ball hint.
These synths are not being very friendly today.
Oh, there's not a lot left to find, so. And the area that had all of the items is the area that we couldn't read the hints for, so.
Excuse me. Flying. Oh.
A key. That's about a 50-50 if it's SDK.
Well, we know it's not an Aegon key. Now going for Hall of Honor Dead for Bellator. Let's see if that's got anything useful. Granted, I don't believe
Right, no secrets there.
He's got plenty of missiles to do this, the screw attack trick.
Still a pain though.
It is, yeah. Oh, we got it. Second try. Oh, it looks like some light ammo. You know, while we have this little bit of downtime, I'd like to thank our two trackers today, Samuel and Op. Both are doing a great job keeping an eye on both streams. As tracking can be a very difficult job. Oh. Bellator
That's the Morbus hint.
Yeah,
for
he knows
Bellator.
where Zek. He knows he gotta find those keys now. Unless Echo Visor doesn't have anything useful behind it. But we do know that it does, as Dark Visor is locked up. Not Dark Visor, Dark Beam is locked behind it.
Yeah, this pushes Bellator in the right direction.
It tells him, hey look, you gotta go back to Aegon, you gotta get the worm. But here's the thing, does Bellator know Dark Beam is on Mining Plaza yet? Oh, Translator and Torvus Tunnel South.
Oh, so that's the final one. That's Amber.
There's a Transit Tunnel South, my correction. Bellator's attempted to clip out of bounds by screw attacking into the Morph Ball Tunnel.
Old, reliable, out-of-bound method.
Well, when the screw attack has a hitbox the same size as the Morph Ball, it's, you can't go wrong with it. Yeah. The problem is the Morph Ball track is so low to the ground, you have to screw attack so late to try and hit it.
Oh, I got Secret Missile.
Oh, I'm almost at it. Now he's gotta go find some missiles.
Oh, there's some plants right here.
Now this is where I'm going to point out Echo's drop system. Compared to Prime, Echo's will give you what you're missing, depending on your...
80% of the time.
Yeah, if you're low or out of missiles, you're most likely to get a missile drop. If you're low on ammo, you're most likely to get some ammunition. Alright, looks like Bellator's bypassing the secret lock. And Cestrion is returning to Temple Grounds. Yeah, since he does have light suit, this gives him access to the light, to the item hiding up on the second.
GFMC.
Now, what was that?
Movement system in GFMC.
That could be, I'm hoping it's gravity boost.
That could also be grapple.
Yeah, but they already have screw attack. Don't really need grapple beam.
Yeah, we don't have the progressive grapple in this one. Would have been a real troll move if this had been an Amber Gate.
Yeah, he'd be stuck here. Oh, Bellator's going for his key hints.
Yeah, let's see what we get.
Cestrion's duping the missile expansion he just got. So we have Torvus Spa, Gathering Hall. Cash B in Dark Torvus, that's a free one, Super Missile. Oh, Sank Vault. He's gonna need his boost ball for that. Wild Shrine and Sky Temple. Thank Energy Controller. That's a freebie. Hydro Dynamo Station. That's another freebie if I'm thinking of the correct room. And lastly, oh, Hive Gyro. Alrighty. So we know Quad doesn't have Quad and Chica don't have any of our STKs.
Yeah, I think that's like. If Setrian gets all that, it's just go.
Yeah, he's got the equipment he needs. He's got boost ball. He's got. I'm trying to think. What's that? Oh, there's his gravity booster. With Bellator having all of his hints, and there's 2 keys hiding in Sanctuary.
Yeah, I think at this point, if you're Sestrian, you're also just like beelining the hints from here.
And once Estron gets his hints, he'll be in prime position. As do we find an elevator to Sank yet?
Hack entrance? Oh, yeah, the vanilla Aegon elevator from Temple Grounds is Sank entrance.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. Well, so we have ways to Torvis, Aegon, and Sank, meaning we have access to all of our keys fairly easily. Now, is there any key that you're not very, you think that might give them a bit of a headache trying to reach, might be out of the way?
They're spread out across the world, but they're not in like atrocious positions, I think. Considering they got a lot of kit already.
Yeah, I can agree. I mean, I believe this completely erases Lower Torvis, and I believe Dark Torvis. No, not Dark Torvis. There's a key in there. This pretty much erases Lower Torvis altogether, aside from Hydro Dynamo. But if Hydro Dynamo's a large, water-filled room, then you just go down, pick up the item, and get out. The item's literally floating in front of the Seeker door. For us being not even 1 hour in, having all this equipment.
Yeah, this has been a very generous seed. Sestrian seeing that hint. Out of bounds here. I haven't really seen people try and do that in this specific room. Right, Baltar going for the map here. Get some more elevator knowledge. That's Sank Spider side, okay. And looks like technical issue for the fellow commentator here. But let's see. Well, they're getting a thanks game hint. And yeah, the Torvis elevator, not very good for Bellator at the moment, I'd say. Also, Esfren is still dealing with some out-of-bounds troubles. Doing a bit of reloading here, I think.
And we're back. I greatly apologize. It seems like we're having some technical difficulties on my side.
Yeah, not a lot of stuff happening so far, but more exploration, no major finds.
I apologize. I didn't mean to leave you high and dry, Mark. I just had some technical struggles on my part, and the router decided to crash.
Oh yeah, I know that pain.
All right.
Testosterone is apparently still on a grand out-of-bounds adventure.
Oh, you always love to see out of bounds. Alright, so looks like Bellator's still moving through Temple Ground. Sestron's doing the same.
We're to warp back into bounds here, I assume.
I would hope so. There we go.
Yeah, there we are.
If I was Sestron, I would be doing what I can, try to move towards my my STK hints. He's already in Temple Ground, so it would benefit him having that knowledge. Mainly with Hive Gyro Chamber and Sanctuary with the Vault. As Vault's an out of the way check.
We're kind of out of the way there, yeah.
But Sestron's already entering Sanctuary, so he's got. Hopefully, he finds it.
Interesting choice to see. Could you have done the loop through Temple Grounds to get to hints? I guess you could have done that out of bounds, but
Now, I'm not entirely sure what Bellator is thinking right now. He knows where his Echo Visor is, but
apparently there has been a rules query from Bellator.
as what is this new development?
It involves load delays and the legality thereof.
Alrighty, well, we will stand by and get that information to you as soon as we hear more.
Yeah. Still feels weird that Belter still doesn't have that Dark Beam. It's in a pretty pain in the ass location with a pretty pain in the ass requirement, but
That's fair, but we know for a fact Torbus entrance is locked by Dark Beam. So he's not able to use the elevator he found in Aegon Wastes.
I think following the logic and knowing that technically Light Beam is still out of logic as well.
Right, he never picked up his boost ball, unless Cannonball has been put into the logic settings, but I don't believe multiplayer items are. So I would have to get a double check on that.
As far as I know, that's still like not part of logic yet.
And we are receiving confirmation from Samuel that load delays is banned from either platform. Now, since I'm not too familiar with load delays, I can't comment on any benefit or negativity that it would cause either runner.
It would allow you to basically skip by some things by having things not loaded in time, so that would enhance some out of logic options. Not too familiar with the exact details myself, but more hints for Bellator.
Well, that is a great hint, so I'm sure I can use that.
It's critical information.
Did you know that about power bombs, Mark One?
Well, I had a sneaking suspicion considering the shape. But you're never quite sure, and you dare take a bite without knowing for sure. I assume they contain a lot of calories, though.
Well, do you see how large those things are? It's all that bread is just gonna go straight to your thighs, man. Okay, now you're making me hungry. I could really go for a cheeseburger now. All right, what do we have hiding on Bellator? What do we? Oh, we got a red key.
And Bellator doesn't yet. No, oh, it's a Torvis key.
And we got Sestron doing some more out of bounds. Try to take a wild assumption. This is to bypass the amber gates.
Yeah, that would make sense.
As unfortunately, we still have no idea where Amber Translator's hiding.
Are we getting a hive entrance check from Bellator?
Sestron successfully bypassing the gate. Nice work.
Yeah, so we should soon have Bellator realizing he's in go mode.
Now this brings up the question: is dark beam required for any of those keys? If dark beam's not required for those keys,
Because isn't dark beam required for light beam?
Yeah, that would dark beam's required to get into the crossroads portal, or annihilator beam. Annihilator was found on light beam, so they could have just grabbed the light beam, headed over to the dark labs, picked up annihilator beam, and then grabbed and just go through the worlds using annihilator without ever getting dark beam. Yep, Sestron's going to take a look at his hits. His hints, my bad.
Yeah. We know what they all are, so... Seven left to go.
One in Torvis, one in Dark Torvis, one in Sanctuary, one in Inkhive, one in Sky Temple, two in Sanctuary, two in Torvis.
Yeah, I think the Dark Beam, like, especially with the added thing, like blocking boost and the like, Bellator is still operating massively out of logic here. Is Bellator checking the contents here? I'm expecting the... Or is it time? Yeah, Bellator is going to go out of bounds for Mining Plaza item.
Nice. This saves him from having to fight worms, get the Echo Visor, and then come back to the puzzle.
Was any of this Echo locked? I don't think so, right?
Is what not Echo locked?
The keys.
No, none of the, not that I believe. No, I know Dark Torvis is locked by supers. Sanctuary is locked by boost ball.
Is there an Echo gate on the route to Hive Gyro Chamber?
I don't remember that room too very well. I believe.
I think Bellator also got the key for those jets at the Great Temple, the Temple Transport one that requires bombs.
I can think of the room that you're thinking of. I know the room you're thinking of. I just don't recall which side of Sanctuary is it on. Is it on the gyro side or is it more towards the reactor side?
Hive Gyro Chamber?
No, the Echo Lock.
Yeah, that's thing. I don't remember exactly like what the paths there are with a full kit of items.
Excuse me for 1 second. Let me find this information. It's gonna be bugging me if I don't find it.
Well, Cestrion taking the elevator. Yeah, apparently hardware access requires echo. Yeah.
Okay, so it does. So it is the room I'm thinking of then. Or that
Right. That's lower
site.
Torvus for like.
Alright, so with that being said, Echo Visor is hard required. And Cestron pulling off a wonderful tower statue skip. This lets him get into lower Torvus through the back entrance, and he's able to go straight up into Hydro Dynamo.
Well, they're trying for the ceiling warp.
I hope he gets it so we can get his Dark Beam finally. Yep, that was what I was thinking. The key's just sitting there floating in midair.
Well, in water, but.
Oh, come on, don't... Well, still, it's floating.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I mean, those are the keys you love to see. You just enter the room. Oh, there you go. Here's the key.
Well, Belt was in, got Dark Beam, but now they have to get out.
Oh, this is a very, very tricky... There's a little hole that you can clip through that would get him out of bounds. The problem is trying to get it.
Yeah, from what I've seen, getting out is a bigger pain than getting in here.
And you can't really quit and reload file as he collected the item himself, and he'd have to re-grab it.
Yeah, it's significantly less bad in a multi-world.
Yeah, if it's a multi-world, that's much, much easier, especially if you get it for someone else.
Yeah, getting it for yourself, you still got the same issues.
Yeah. Cestron pulling off some great screw attacks to skip the spider ball track puzzle.
Yeah, no boost ball half piping into spider ball stuff, just jump on there. Sadly, the timing of the moving platforms generally works out in a way where you have to wait until it turns back around until you can get it.
With that being said, Cestron has both Torvus keys. He has one remaining in Dark Torvus though in Cache.
It's Cache B, isn't it?
It's one of the caches. See, this is the problem trying to remember room names.
I wrote it down, and what I've written down is Cache B.
Alright, I'm going to trust what you have written down. I saw Cache and Dark Torvus. There's only like 2 of them. Well, one of them Seeker locked, one of them Super Missile locked. But if it's... I believe the Cache is Super Missile locked. I'm sure someone can correct me if I'm mistaken on that. We'll find out when they reach it. Bellator successfully getting the out of bounds.
Right, and there's Amber for Cestrion.
Amber hiding in was it Transit Tunnel east or south?
I think it's south. We got a hint for that. So if you're in the neighborhood, I guess that does make sense when routing back towards Sky Temple at the end, depending on the elevators you take there.
That's right. So he did have to go out of bounds to maneuver through temple grounds.
We're picking up a key like literally next room over, so might as well.
I mean, if it's there, I'd rather have it and not need it then.
Should be significantly faster than taking a massive detour. That may or may not involve additional elevator rides.
The least elevator rides you can take, the better.
Yeah, they take a surprising amount of time.
Alright, so Bellator has Dark Beam. He's still moving through Aegon Wastes. If I believe the proper routing for him at this time was try to get his Echo Visor by finding the last 2 keys. He's got to know that the keys are in Aegon Wastes.
Yeah, just based on logic, assuming they've been reading that correctly.
Well, there's a possibility if there is an out of bounds method in Inghive, they could just bypass that Echo Gate alt completely. Now we have.
I think Bellator knows some out of bounds tricks there.
Cestron's doing the out of bounds to get his ultimate unlimited ammo. This portal chamber is a fun one to get.
Yeah, there's just a piece of wall here where there's just no collision. Oops.
Well, welcome to Metroid. General rule of thumb: if you can jump on it, if you can stand on it, you can break it. If you see a hole, you can go through it. Alright, so unlimited beam ammo for Cestron, that'll help him out.
Well, it's not that critical.
Well, no, it's not critical, but it's always nice to have. You know, you can spam your
We've got final
Annihilator.
bosses disabled, right?
So... We do, yeah. Yeah, but who doesn't like spamming Annihilator everywhere? Nope, so yeah, I was incorrect. It is not the super missile. Oh, yeah, it is the super missile. That's the wrong cache, Cestrion. But it's always good to check in case it has an important item.
Alright, that's that cache, right? Turns out it wasn't. Yep, that happens.
There's 2 caches, both are locked by missile-related upgrades. It's just trying to remember which one's on which side of Torbus.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I agree with DGC in chat that it feels like Bellator's kind of lost track of the logic.
I would agree. I think he's a little bit... He's not unsure where the game wants him to lead.
In that case, just like brute force going for the SDKs is probably your best bet, but trying to puzzle logic back together.
Yeah, he has his light suit. He has all 3 beams and his dark visor. There's little to know where he can't get to.
Yeah, especially with some tricks to remove mostly the need for seekers. And there's always out of bounds for some additional options.
Well, if you know how to go out of bounds and you can do it well, maneuver through the Aether box. Oh, Cestrion just took a massive fall. If you can maneuver through the Aether box well, you can make it a huge advantage.
Yeah. No checking the hints for Bellator, just rushing, I guess.
Well, he knows where his keys are.
Might go for this item then. Just like doing checks that are on the way just in case.
Either that or he's reloading the temple to activate the lower elevator.
In that case, you don't really need to go into the room. You could just like roll around the edge of the bomb slot room and that's all it takes to reload it.
Yeah, but if you're there, it's a free item. Why not check it?
True, it does take some time though.
Cestrion saying hi to Grapple Guardian, and now he's saying bye to Grapple Guardian.
Any run where you don't have to deal with Grapple Guardian is at least not an awful run.
Well, that's fair. If he had I believe it's Sunburst. Sunburst does massive damage to Grapple Guardian.
SDK 5 from Bellator.
Alright, he's getting his Torvus keys out of the way. So that's, what is that, 3 to Bellator, and now we have 6 to Cestrion. I believe Cestrion's only missing his three Sanctuary Inghive keys. 2 in Sank, 1 in Hive Gyro.
Yeah, let's see, which one was it? It was Sank Energy Controller and Volt are the other two then.
And Sestran's pretty much in go mode. He can just head straight to Sanctuary, get the 2 keys, enter Hive Gyro, get the key from Hive Gyro, and make a beeline for the credits. But Bellator's still in a great position. He's doing some Torvis cleanup, trying to get his last keys in.
I would say it's a great position, but it's a workable one.
But we can't downplay the skills and the knowledge level of each runner. Yeah, both are. Oh, there's Sunburst. Sunburst is always good to have in case you run into some troublesome dark enemies.
Yeah, it's a resource drain, but it can be situationally quite useful.
And since Cestron picked up his amber, he's no longer trapped behind the elevator gate.
Yeah, this already like pays out the time it took to grab amber, I think. Not having to go for a very different route here.
I agree. He's saving a ton of time by trying to either go out of bounds or make his way to a different elevator.
I think, wasn't this a Sank one? Or is this one that my sister came in through this one, right?
He
Out
came
of bounds.
Yeah, this is where he did the out of bounds at on the other side.
Yeah, this Sank, so.
Well, Bellator's picking up his Dark Torvis key.
Restock the weaponry.
He's about to head out of bounds. Easy as that. Made it look so simple. Yeah, Cestron opening up a dark portal. Excuse me.
Hop, skip, and leap.
In a matter of 1, 2, 3, we're in the next room and doing some screw attack, climbing. I believe the Central Transit West. Yep, I'm not going to put money on that.
Cat West, or dark version of Cat West, sounds about right.
Oh, look, a missile expansion. We could always use more of those.
No, apparently not.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, straight to Volt.
Yeah, I don't blame him if he's taking the fastest route. And he'll grab Vault and then head straight for Sank Energy Controller. And then probably head right back to Hive Gyro after Sank Energy.
There are routing decisions for Bellator meanwhile.
I hope Bellator, he's a great runner. It's just but with having so much equipment at the start of Aegon, it's like you stated earlier, the logic settings are, where does this game truly want me to go with all of this?
Yeah, this is one where the logic was actually fairly limited early on, but there were some pretty easy out of logic things you could get that make things a lot easier, but then it's very easy to lose track of what logic originally intended for you and where you're supposed to go for progression.
Right, because you don't know where it really wants you to start out at.
Where it's expecting you to go next, even if you could go to other places.
In the meantime, this is why I said Sunburst is good to have. especially with Grapple Guardian. It just took away about 2/3 of his health in one blast.
Sadly, no more light ammo now, so that's a bit of a pain.
And Cestron picking up his vault key.
Yeah. 2 more to go for Cestrion.
Bellator's not far behind. He's looking pretty good with 4 keys.
Yeah.
He has the 2 in Sank, 1 in Hive, and which key am I forgetting? He picked up Dark Taurus. Yes, so that's.
Will you get the Veld Shrine?
I can't recall. All right, there's one in Sky Temple. All right. I would leave Sky Temple for the very end. Grab the key, then you can head straight to credits. But that depends if the Defiled Shrine is on the way to the gateway. Oh no, Defiled Shrine is. It is, because I believe it's connected. There's a dark version of Path of Eyes. Well, Cestron only has 1 key remaining. He's got Hive Gyro Chamber to pick up.
Yeah. Might be a bit of a hassle compared to some of the previous ones, but...
In my experience, Hive Gyro Chamber always has progression. Either a key or a major upgrade. Lately, it always seems to have something for someone. Whee! Well, that quad just got deleted. The legs were there for 1 second, and poof, poof, where did it go?
It's the cannonball experience. Up, up, and away.
I wonder what that quad is thinking right now, having his legs just vanished right from underneath him.
I'm just imagining like classic Windows style, suddenly 50 error windows popping up with the overlapping sound effects.
It's like, well, not sure how to process this information. Might as well just
Throw an error.
Yeah,
That's the clean way to handle that issue, right?
Yeah. This is why I don't put Cannonball in my rotation. This and this Cannonball can sometimes crash on morph ball tracks and puzzles. But if you know which ones they are, you can avoid them, and well, they're not a problem. But Cannonball does so much fancy shenanigans, as you mentioned earlier.
It's quite often like this time as well. It's a nice practical early alternative to boost, which is handy as long as you know how to not lose it.
And here we see Bellator pulling off the screw attack jumps to avoid draining the water and use the half pipe. Is he going to get this one on the first shot? No. The spider track moved away.
That seems to happen to people 90% of the time somehow. It's very unfortunate and kind of dissatisfying for everyone involved.
Yeah, you land the track, you think, oh, I'm going to get it right away. Next thing you know, the second you charge your boost, whoop, there it goes. Now you got to wait a few seconds.
Yeah, well, they got it on the first one, so that's nice.
Yeah, both runners are running close behind each other. 5 keys to Bellator, 8 to Cestron, with him about to pick up his last key. So while Cestron has a slight lead, it's nothing Bellator can't catch up to. If he moves fast enough.
Well, that's the big question, because
And you're right.
This is the Echo Lock. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't for the life of me figure out where this gate was, if it was on the way to Hive Gyro or if it was on the other side of Sanctuary by Vault.
That's literally the room in front of it, so yeah.
Well, you can see how much I know about this game.
I'd forgotten as well, so I wasn't quite sure there was another end.
I just missed the spider ball track. It was hanging on by a thin thread.
Yeah, hanging on the narrow end of a spider ball track is a thing.
Oh yeah, just hang by the magic of your lasso. Well, that's all 9 keys. Vestron is ready to end it. We're roughly an hour and a half in, and we're already practically done with this seed.
Yeah, it's a quite speedy seed in the end.
Yeah, Aegon had a lot of great items today.
Yeah, like Aegon got you most of your kit, and then it's finding a way to get your hints and then actually getting the SDKs, which are pretty nicely spread out.
I agree. That seems to be the biggest problem for the seed, is the elevators and the translator gates. You're trying to figure out which elevator leads where, and sometimes you don't have an elevator that leads where you want to go.
Or at least not without an amber gate blocking it.
Yeah, it seems Amber was the biggest headache for Cestron today, trying to do out of bounds past that gate.
Or Belter as well, I'd say. Yeah, it's just the big obstacle that you kind of no longer expect once you've got all these other items.
Yeah, one early game translator is holding everything back.
It also meant we had a very light on hints seed, which is rare.
And Bellator's realizing again he's stuck by Amber. He's going to go out of bounds.
But there's an SDK here, so it need to be here.
Yep, he's going to go out of bounds to try to get it.
No, we need to go out of bounds. You can just like.
Well, if there's a way to clip through the gate, man.
Oh, yeah, that's the point. Just like use it for further transit.
Having a bit of trouble with the screw attack. Oh, there he goes. Alrighty, so about third, fourth try, not bad. Vestron returning to the temple grounds. So, well, with this
right
seed,
next to the portal as well, so that's a pretty smooth routing for the final stretch.
Epi's entering, I believe it's Path of Eyes, Hall of Eyes. Enter the dark portal that gets him into, allows him to get straight to the warp to credits, as final bosses are turned off this time. I do have to say, it's been amazing to watch. You know, it was a very close race from the start.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth there, where both players were covering each other's tracks repeatedly, but like the not getting the Amarbis keys and doing Amarbis, that was the big thing that split Cestron from Bellator in this race.
I agree. Having his Echo Visor, getting Aegon full cleared out of the way, it significantly helped him, as Bellator still doing some searches.
Yeah, that's the final key there. Right on the path, so.
Yeah, with the Foul Shrine being connected to the transport, it's about 2 rooms away. So we're about to come up on time for Cestrion's side.
Yeah, it should just be a matter of walking into that transport, and that'll be it.
I'm gonna go and get our time ready then. But Bellator still done a great job. A lot of amazing work from him. So final time of 1:28:58.
Within an hour and a half.
Well, if we get Cestron in here, love to ask him some questions about about his routing and how he felt getting both suits quite early.
And the rest of it, the kit as well, basically.
And the rest of the kit, he's pretty much fully equipped within a half hour. Well, it looks like we have Cestrion in the wait. Oh, hello there, Cestrion.
Hello.
Well, that was a fairly quick seed, my friend. Under an hour and a half. How do you feel it went?
Well, the early game was kind of okay, but the late game was
Not too big on the late game. I mean, early game you had almost your entire kit within the first half hour. Your dark suit in mining, your light suit hiding in Warrior's Walk.
Yeah, I think my early game loading was pretty on point. But because I thought like, okay, maybe I don't know, the generator just like dumped all the stuff on like Aegon, and well, it was like 90% of it.
Yeah, there was like Gravity and Amber were like the only things not in Aegon.
Yeah, I haven't seen where Grapple Beam is. Thomas Plaza. Okay. Well. Yeah. So, well, Grapple you don't really need, right? So.
Not when you start with Screw Attack.
Yeah. So the starting items were like really big already. Like Emerald is like not usually the a really good translator to have, but with random gates on, it kind of gets its value down a little bit. And those Ember gates, they were trolling me that so hard.
Yeah.
Those stupid Ember gates.
Yeah, you come up to Great Temple, you're thinking, great, I'm going to head to Albert, I'm going to get the UMOS in. And next thing you know, boom, here's an Amber Gate staring you in the face.
Yes, I wish I would be better with item loss skip out of bounds, but I had issues lately with that, so I didn't want to do that. I could have like scrapped all the backtrack through Sync entrance, going back to the other side, and then do another out of bounds to then finally be able to get access to hints. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a fairly quick start. You found your light beam hiding on crossroads, and dark beam was in a very interesting place today, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that it was there. So, but I thought Boost Ball would be a Morbus, and as I saw it was Echo Visor, I was like, okay, I just gonna get the energy just in case.
You got everything else, so.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out the logic, right? So, I figured that something has to be there. I was calculating with Boost Ball, got Echo Visor, so I know, okay, Echo Visor could mean that Mining Plaza has something. It was Dark Beam after I saw it. I was like, okay, that explains everything. I do not know if it was really the correct choice to go through labs afterwards, because if I would have checked Mineshaft first, I would have seen the Boost Ball and then everything would be in logic. But the cannonball there like gave me this like fake logic.
Yeah.
And
it's a very easy sheet to lose track of logic in as well, it feels like.
Yeah, definitely. And then I figured, okay, let's just full clear Aegon, just to be safe, so I don't have to really worry about it anymore. I think there was like only a couple checks left, like not my even 5 or something. I think there was like Dark Oasis, which yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, Dark Oasis. That's not a fun check.
No, it's not.
At least it was hinted.
And yeah, I think there was not really much else left there. So yeah, I think oh well, the early game was pretty good. Also like not going immediately for the light beam. I could have probably done it with like no suit, no E-tank, but that's kind of risky. So I was like, okay, let's go back. Let's see if we can get an E-tank or like a suit. And then, well, was lucky found a suit. And
Following
then
the
of
logic a
course, and of course, light suit right after. And then I was like, okay, this is gonna be a jet seat, probably, maybe. And then it was just like really going down to like how to route to get SDK ins, and then like routing in the SDKs. And I was so annoyed by those amber gates because like I got an amber hint, right? I had like the hint for a translator being in TTS, so I knew that has to be amber translator. I could have gotten that right away if I wanted to. And then,
so out of the way at that point, though.
Yeah, especially with like no grav, you are like pretty slow in the movement and so on. So I was like, nah, let's just see where this elevator goes. Was going to Temple Grounds. I was like, nice. With also grav boost on the ship, which was like then convenient later. Yeah. And then I did like this weird out of bounds stuff in Industrious side, which was like a total time waste because I felt uncomfortable afterwards because like I saw that the room wasn't loaded, and the run tunnel room where I screw tagged in was still loaded, and I didn't want to risk a crash, so I stopped it and I had a little bit of trouble to get back in bounds. Yeah, that was a big time loss there. I could have done it better, or if I knew how to do item no skip on the bounce. Yeah, but if I would have just gone for logic, I think it would have been way easier. Like I knew where Graph Boost was, I knew where Ember is, and then I wouldn't have any trouble with all the translator gates. Like I could have like gotten Graph Boost, go back, get Amber, and then I would probably just move to gone back to the lower Torvus elevator that way, and then like I had no trouble at all. I probably had to backtrack anyway for the SDKs and at the end anyway, but at that point, yeah, I lost probably like something around like 20 to 25 minutes doing out of bounds stuff.
That like mid-game-ish segment that felt kind of messy, but once the path was clear, things flowed pretty nicely again.
Yeah. I'm glad that I just knew those two out of bounds that like got me out of there after hints. Like getting the terminal fall views, and also the other one in the elevator room. Skip the Ember Gate. That was pretty good. So yeah, how did Bellator fare?
Well, he didn't go for a Morbus, didn't get the keys, so.
I wasn't sure where his keys were, like you said, but he did get his Dark Beam though, with some out of bounds movement.
Eventually, that was like a fair bit later than you, so that like also looked a fair bit like losing track of logic a bit, and then eventually going for the out of bounds to get Dark Beam. Still no Echo Visor. Still no Seekers, but that's not that bad.
I mean, the Echo Visor wasn't necessarily required if you know a lot about out of bounds. Like I could have done the out of bounds for Dark Beam as well, but I was already there. I had all the keys, so I was like, just go for it.
Yeah, but overall, you two were fairly close the entire time. It was the major route difference when you went for worms and Bellator was still searching around. That was pretty much the defining point. You found your Dark Beam a lot faster. You found your Seekers, your Boost Balls. It was doing your A-gun cleanup seemed to have been the major turning point. But granted, you got your hints. You got your hints a little bit later than Bellator, but your movement options were far more open.
And Yeah, just because Belter was still missing a couple of tools from the toolbox, basically.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Echo Visor would have been like really nice to have for routing SDKs in. Same with I don't know. Did Bellator already had Dark Beam when going for hints for SDK hints?
No, I don't think so.
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that makes it a bit difficult, I guess.
Yeah, but finding your Annihilator Beam right there in Dark Labs, it opened up your
Yeah.
Dark and Light World access pretty much.
Yep, that is true. Also, Dark Visor Seekers were kind of convenient with it.
Yeah, like Marcotte said, Aegon's pretty much the toolbox today. You had 90% of your majors just sitting right there in one area.
Alright,
Yeah.
Belter going for the out of bounds in Hive Gyro entrance, looks like now.
Yeah, has to do this if he wants to skip Echo Visor.
Belter did get the hint that Echo is on Worms, so...
he knows also, okay.
Yeah, the only thing he doesn't know is where the keys are.
Got one, I think saw another one, but...
So that still leaves one key unaccounted for.
Like, do you go into a mostly cleared Aegon for that? At that point, that's like...
No, I would...
Probably not.
If you know how to do the out of bounds, it'd save you a lot more time than going back to Aegon fighting Worms just to come back.
Indeed. Also, Captain MD 13 also finished. I just saw in the race time.
1:34.18. So everyone's fairly close.
Yeah, 5 minutes difference. Not too bad.
He's having a little bit of struggle with the triple bomb jump.
Oh, there we go. Oh, he got it.
The second I say something.
Yep.
Classic commentary experience.
I gotta start saying things more often or to help speed these things along.
Yeah, but once you realize it and start trying to invoke it, it just does opposite things to annoy you.
That's fair, yeah.
But I want to be a little bit more forward.
Yeah, I'm personally not familiar with like the details of out of bounds stuff myself, so that's kind of like.
Oh, I remember my first out of bounds experience. It went terribly.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No.
Don't fall! Don't fall!
That's scary. That's scary. He should be fine. Yeah, he is fine. Okay. He needs to like. Needs to try to get on that like little edge there. There's sustainable. Problem is that the door is like kind of like wants him to face that way to the door, which is kind of eh.
This is why out of bounds is so scary.
This is really scary. Okay, he should be fine now, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Was this is a bit scary. You do not want to fall there. All right, he got it.
Major applause to Bellator for pulling it off.
Yeah. He has to save warp out though, I think.
I think this is the second to last key though.
Yeah, this is the last key. Probably.
His last one's hiding into File Shrine, which was right next to his gateway.
Makes sense, like from a rounding standpoint.
But yeah, just if you know that's an STK, you can just leave it. You don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
While we have Bellator heading back to his gateway to wrap this seed up, again, I'd like to thank both our trackers for today, Op and Samuel, for doing such an amazing job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the occasional excellent insight into logic and routing in chat as well, in addition to the tracking, which is always appreciated.
Oh, that reminds me. Bellator was asking in the race time if like the load delay is legal and stuff. Usually it's not, as far as I know. Like in tournament, it's like banned by default most of the times. And I was wondering where Bellator wanted to do that. Like, couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, I was about to say this would be a good time with your experience in races and the out of bounds knowledge. Could you possibly think of any area or location where it would be useful?
Like load delay is usually only used by certain like really hard locked stuff. Like for example, I don't know, if you have like feeding pit without light suit, then we have something like War Ritter grounds without Dark Visor or Seekers. But I can't remember there was anything that would require that.
At that point, I think it was the case where Belter didn't have Dark Beam yet either, so... And still no Seekers, so that might have been like a play to just like keep momentum going if it were allowed by just trying some of that in nearby places where it could be of use, even if Belter didn't know what exactly would be in there.
Yeah.
We got the out of bounds first try in Great Temple.
Yeah, the out of bounds is actually not that difficult. I think everyone can pull that off.
That was a bit more of a hassle on the previous attempt, passing through here, so...
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Sester, on the Amber Gate fiasco.
Yeah, the Amber Gate fiasco. I don't even remember where like this one gate, with the one elevator goes to. Like I never went that way back.
Yeah, this Amber was hiding in right behind Dark Samus Spawn. What's that damn room name? It's the vanilla spider side for Sanctuary.
It's Aegon Temple side. Like
yeah,
Aegon
Transport
Temple
Amber.
That one.
No, that's Transport Violet.
Is it Violet?
It's one.
Yeah,
of the
the safe warp. Like the Aegon entrance went to Transport Amber Gate.
So were there any elevators or locations that gave you a bit of a confusion or a hard time? Something that wasn't really something that you didn't really enjoy or like?
I think besides the Amber thing, the elevators were fine to me personally. I like that you just
set of connections.
I just like the way that you can like actually use map station for this kind of settings to like see where all of those elevators go.
Yeah, it's really nice that those places have some actual proper utility there.
Yeah. Which is why I also like went immediately to GFNC because of that map station right there. Plus I get an item. It's pretty good.
It's a free map station. There's no lock or anything. It's just a scan.
Exactly.
Like Il mentioned earlier, it's showing some love for the maps that usually never get used. We got Bellator making his way over to Grand Wind Chamber.
I guess that would be the fastest route there at this point.
Yeah, if he's got the block moved and Path of Eyes.
But still without Ember, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where you put into account. Do you want to do the out of bounds to bypass the Amber, or take the walk and not have to go out of bounds?
Whoops.
Oh, the block
Right,
is
so
moved.
suddenly slow morph ball because
Oh yeah. No cannonball anymore.
yeah, Belter didn't grab boost.
Yeah, with boost ball being a mine shaft, it's a get it the first go. Otherwise, it's a little out of the way to go check that area.
All right. Almost there.
I hope we're coming on time.
Right, interesting question from Captain ND in chat. How many missiles did you fight on Orbis with? Do you remember?
I think it was 10.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, you picked up the expansion and your supers.
Yeah, I picked up the expansion in what was it, Battleground in cache? Still,
Yeah,
so I get priority drops. Yeah, it was just enough. I didn't got the worm skid sadly, but it's kind of hard without boost ball at that point.
yeah, but you gave it a try. We can't.
Yeah,
Commendations for giving it a shot.
I accidentally missed my super there, but with supers it can be sometimes a bit hard.
It's not as practical as Light Beam for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Seekers are actually not that bad. That either.
Well, at least in that kind of situation, trying trying worm skip without boost and failing versus not even trying, it's not a massive time loss or something, so might as well try.
Yeah.
And here we are returning the keys, and we are almost there. Oh, the audio went out. And that's time.
GG.
Final time of 1:51:28, so roughly about 22 minutes apart. I believe I'm doing my math wrong.
That's about
Nope.
right.
This is why I never succeeded in algebra.
I think it's 22.5 minutes, so
that's a story for another day.
doing maths on any kind of live stream or in a voice chat is always a recipe for disaster in my experience.
Yeah, I'm going to take your advice on that one. Let's see if we're able to get Bellator in for a quick word.
The overall, a surprisingly rough sheet after its very lightning fast start.
Yeah.
When the game gives you so much at the start, like I stated earlier, you're not exactly sure where it logically wants you to go, as there's multiple options.
Well, that's the tricky thing. Just purely following logic, it wasn't actually giving you that much at the same time, but there were some pretty reachable things if you just did some little skips, like getting light beam earlier. And then suddenly there's a lot more open than what's actually in logic.
Well, nevertheless, it was a great race. I believe both runners had a fantastic time.
I should it.
Yeah, I hope Bellator had a good time with it as well. It'd be we're not able to get him for a quick word at the moment, but overall, it was wonderful.
Interesting to watch as well. Decent amount of out of bounds and some other tricks to be seen as runs flowed.
Yeah, the run always kept you on your seat. You never knew what was going to happen next. Well, since we're not able to get, there he is.
There he
already.
is.
Hey.
I'm jumping the gun a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I really gotta learn to slow down. Oh, hello there, Bellator.
Hello.
Well,
GG.
congratulations. How do you think everything went for you?
To be honest, even though I'm the last one, I very much enjoy the seed because the decision I made makes me do some very funny stuff, I would say.
I agree. I think it was that. It was an interesting start to say the least. You had a lot of your equipment at the start of Aegon. You found both your suits, you found your super missiles, your power bombs. You
Yeah,
had a lot of options open to you.
yeah, and the thing I think I am the most proud of is the dark beam without echo visor.
Yeah, that's a tricky out of bounds from what I've seen in the past, and you got it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one.
With
Yeah,
that
because
being, no, go ahead.
the early game, the two of you were pretty back and forth, basically going in slightly different directions and then covering the ground the other person covered basically right afterwards. The big split coming when Cestrion went for the worm.
Yeah, for one moment I was thinking about doing the worm, but I was in the mindset with that seed that if I play like the two other opponents, it's not very fun to just follow each other. So I take the bet to just do some fancy stuff, and see how it goes.
Well, I think it went well for you. I have your time was under 2 hours. It was a lot of fun to see. Although I will say you did give us quite a scare in Hive Gyro Chamber near the end with your out of bounds.
Yeah, I missed the send double.
Yeah, that can happen.
I haven't
Uh,
done so many percent in a while, so that's probably an expected outcome, I would say.
Well,
where did you wanted to use the load delay? Where I was asking in chat.
The barriers keeping lower Taurus.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
But on Dolphin you don't need lower load delay, so that was
Hmm.
the reason I asked this.
we appreciate you asking. Instead of just going out there and invalidating your run, that would have been extremely
Speaking of
Yeah.
disheartening.
validation,
Yeah, you never found the energy transfer module.
I did.
You did? Oh,
I also did find one, but I
I
didn't pick
must
it up. I think.
I must have missed it. Oh, jeez.
Storage
I think that was
cavity, if
during
I
your
recall
brief
correctly.
DC or something.
Yeah, I had technical difficulties.
Oh,
Well, I guess we have to ask you one question. Was there anything that really upset you? Your elevators, your STK hints? I mean, how do you feel overall?
to be honest, pretty good. Just not too big mistake, but r- it ended up screwing up my writing pretty badly. Like the crystal switch in Great Temple, I didn't switch even if I stepped into the room 3 times. And one thing, well, I choose the wrong elevator once when I went back to GFMC for the second time. I went to the Sacred Path elevator, but that wasn't what I wanted.
Ah,
For whatever reason, my brain just autopilots to this elevator.
yeah, that happens. This is every time like I'm in the multi world and I was like only playing like normal elevators. I'm just
Yeah.
like brain Afghan.
But outside of those two mistakes, considering I don't play much Echoes recently, I'm pretty okay with how it ended up.
Yeah, I think it was a great time. It was a great experience for all of us watching here at home and us on the restream. Marcotte, Cestrion, anything else you two would like to ask Mr. Bellator?
No, I'm good.
Anyone want to give any final words before we sign off here today?
Nice Amber translator.
Yeah.
Where was it? Oh, by the way, where was it?
Transit ton of stuff.
Oh! Oh, nice.
Marcotte, anything else you'd like to add before we sign off tonight?
I think we've covered pretty much everything here. Pretty interesting rounds with some nice twists like that dagger of Amber suddenly getting in the way once you've got mostly everything else.
Yeah, that's true. Well, from all of us here in the Metroid Prime community, the Randomizer community, please make sure to follow both runners on their Twitch. And from all of us here, thank you for joining us on Speed Gaming. Have a wonderful rest of the day.